All right, this is your host Shane with Bitcoin Crypto News Online. Just getting the podcast started, so bear with me. We are going to get right into the news. We're going to get into the charts, price predictions, but first I want to tell you about the BRICs new coin called the unit. Also, their online payment program. We are going to talk about how this is going to affect Bitcoin, the US dollar, and the West in general. So stay tuned as we go into that. But as usual, we are going to take a look at the chart. Yes, Bitcoin is up. Bitcoin is up. Hooray, $67,648. Good news, the market capitalization is back up to $2,423,000,000 plus. So we are getting a little bump. The 24-hour is up 2.2% for Bitcoin. Ethereum hasn't been so lucky. As we've talked the last few days, if you've been tuning in, there's a lot of pressure on Bitcoin. There's a lot of shopping. A lot of ETFs dumping money in there. They dumped money out. It made our price drop. That's pretty much what did it. And now they've bought it all back and then some. And there's other institutional investors. So Bitcoin's back up again, and it will continue sideways. Hopefully we will break the 69,000 barrier and get to the 70,000 before the end of the month. Let's hope. Top 10, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, XRP, we've got Lido Stake Ether. I don't know that that's really significant. Dogecoin, Tron on the top 10. Toncoin dropped to 11. Cardano, we're going from 11 to 20. Toncoin, Cardano, Avalanche, Shiba Inu, Wealth, Chainlink, Bitcoin Cash, and then honorable mentions here. Looks like Sui's still at 25 with 24 at Leo Token, 23 Near, 22 DAI, and 21 Polkadot. So those are our hot coins of the moment. Crypto Fear and Greed. We have at the Cointree.com tracker here, 69%. It has dropped a little. Interestingly, Bitcoin price has gone up. Altcoin season remains the same. We haven't changed at all. The time block calendar, our new block is just 867,165 blocks away. Our Satoshi, one Satoshi, or $1, I should say, will buy you 1,482 Satoshis. Stack those stats. Global liquidity is about the same. Our price prediction has gone up a little bit. We're at $78,613 for the 5-day prediction based on the charts. We may not achieve that, but it just lets us know that we're in a forward motion. 1 month, 91,919. 3 month is almost 96,000. So looking good again. All right. Don't know why I have that up. So BRICs, this is what we want to talk about. The BRICs leaders push Bitcoin to bypass Western sanctions as Putin calls for alternatives. We're told here by r/cryptocurrency at the Reddit post. There's lots of comments from different people, including Grayscale and others. So before we get into that, I want to thank you for liking and subscribing. It really helps me out. It's your way of giving me a tip, and you don't even have to spend any money. So I appreciate that. If you want our safety guide, you can email me at mountaincrypto@gmail.com if you've already got that email, or our new email at bitcoincryptonewsonline@gmail.com. And I will send you that, no strings attached. Let's get into this. We're going to make this short and sweet today. Here's the general news we'll kind of go over before we get into the big news. about the BRICs and Bitcoin and how it's going to affect U.S. and Western dollars. Some of the hot topics today: Citibank is debanked Ripple's Brad Garlinghouse due to crypto executive says that this is the case. Yeah, it's not good what's happening between Ripple and now Citibank is attacking them as well. So this is not looking good. This is an article by Jesse Hammond. You can find it at coindesk.com. That's free to read if you want to check that out. Bitcoin retakes 67,000, as we just said. The dollar index rally stalls as binge book supports Fed rate cuts. More Fed rate cuts, more Bitcoin go up in dollar amount here. That's how that works. Kraken has some picks for optimism of a new layer 2 network joining Coinbase, their base network on a super chain. So that might be something you want to follow and look into. The gold rally comes to a pause as Bitcoin price break to not an all-time high yet, but hopefully a new all-time high will bring Bitcoin up. Where the separation, I showed you a chart yesterday where gold and Bitcoin have separated so much and now gold is coming back a little bit. We should see that separate again as Bitcoin comes up. This is part of the cycle that happens. Bitcoin's going to 80K regardless of Trump or Harris win, according to Shari Malwa. And Stripe in $1.1 billion acquisition deal for stablecoin platform Bridge by Jamie Crawley says that that is up and coming. And Solana hits a record versus Ether, outperforms Bitcoin as AI meme coin frenzy and surging revenues fuel the rally, according to James Van Stratton and Chris Zentina Sandor. Now, for our main topic of the day, we're going to go ahead and get into the BRICs, what is going on. Here's what happened in crypto today at Cointelegraph. I don't know that we're going to look into that. Let's see. They have a title here on Bitcoin could be used as currency by 2030. Yes, it's going to be used as a currency because it is being put in the new coin that we're going to talk about. Also, yeah, there's not much that we want to look at there. Let's get into the BRICs currency. It could shake the dollar's dominance, according to foreignpolicy.com. You can look at this by Joe Sullivan. And this is really a big deal. We don't know, of all the things I've read and heard, we don't really know how this is going to affect the United States dollar. If you don't know what it is, the BRICs is the nations that started this idea of this new coinage to break away from the US dollar and the control. It's Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Also Beijing and other countries. There's some 40 countries that are involved in this. And this money will compete with the euro, the yen, and the yuan. It is going to be something admired by many nations. I think nations that are not part of the BRICs are looking at ways to compete with this. I've heard different stories, but today we're going to talk about how this could affect the dollar and Bitcoin with what we know right now. So they announced yesterday that their currency is called the unit. It is primarily backed by gold, 40 to 60% backed by gold, depending on what nation. Each nation will keep its own treasury. Also, they announced that they will be bringing Bitcoin into this treasury. So how much Bitcoin, we don't know yet, but this certainly could add a lot of power to their currency. Also, the nations will still have their own national currency that will be tied to this unit coin. that will be tied to Bitcoin and gold. Now, some important highlights that we want to keep in mind is that, well, why do they want to do this? Well, the SWIFT system is a money transfer system that is greatly controlled by the United States and by a federal agency that we're going to be talking about hopefully sometime this week. I'm going to go in depth on that so you can understand about the control and the power that the United States inflicts upon many other nations and their ability to use currency based on the hypothesis that we, the people, are going to do evil, crooked things like terrorism, money laundering, and things like that. And instead of going out and looking for the crime, they feel that they should have control and know every transaction that you do one way or the other. Now, this BRICs coin, I believe it will be trackable, and it is a digital currency. Also, they already have a pay system set up to bypass the SWIFT system, and these nations likely, according to these reports, will likely bypass the United States and not even use our currency, and may even require us to buy their currency at some point. So, although it's not going to take over the dollar right away, we really don't know how much of an impact and how fast this will roll out. But it's certainly something to think about. If you are saving your money in US dollars, you are probably, and this is not investing advice, I'm not a financial advisor, so check with your financial advisor, but I certainly don't want any more money in the bank than I need just for emergencies. I would much rather have commodities, real estate, Bitcoin, gold, silver, things like that in my arsenal. And also maybe we'll talk about sometime, we'll do a video on really what should we do with our US dollars. So how would a new BRICs currency affect the US dollar? This was updated recently, just within the last 24 hours. This is the NASDAQ.com article here by Melissa Pistoli, however you say her name. I apologize if I got it wrong. She says that the BRICs nations served out and have, it says they're looking to establish, they've already established a new reserve currency, backed by a basket of their representative currencies. All eyes are on the 2024 BRICs Summit. It took place yesterday. It's going on or day before yesterday, and it will go on until today. The potential of a BRICs currency could allow these nations to assert their economic independence while competing with existing international financial system, the currency system that is dominated by the US dollar, which accounts for about 90% of all currency trading. Until recently, 100% of all oil trading was conducted in US dollars. However, in 23, 1/5 of oil trades were reportedly made using non-dollar currencies. This is going to affect our dollar very quickly. A lot of dollars are out overseas. When they start trading these in to get out of them, it's going to cause a real problem with our dollar. So, yeah, I wouldn't have tons and tons of dollars based on that alone. Plus, it's a fiat system. I mean, it can't even keep up with inflation. So it's just really a poor bet to have a lot of dollars and not have them invested in something that is going to go up no matter what currency or what is going on, something that people will need no matter what. Central to this ongoing situation is the U.S. trade war with China, as well as U.S. sanctions on China and Russia. The U.S. really made a big mistake when they started seizing Russian funds. That had never been done before, but under the Biden administration, we really ruined the world's trust of using our currency and such. So, not a good thing for the U.S. But it's not just the U.S. it's the whole West, the European nations, um, all of them that are using these fiats. I'd say Japan, um, their dollars are always suffering from inflation. And if we don't come up with a new dollar and a new way to have something of value, then we're going to be in a lot of trouble. We're going to be in a lot of trouble. So the BRICS nations, why do they want to create this new currency? Well, again, they don't want to use the United States dollars. They want to have their own global currency and a global reserve so they can work openly with all their fair trade partners and avoid these tariffs that possibly future President Trump is warning about, and the current administration has kept and stuck with all those tariffs as well. So this is a way for them to bypass that in some ways. Also, Brazilian president said and showed support for the BRICS currency, commenting, why can't an institution like BRICS Bank have a currency to finance trade relations between Brazil and China, between Brazil and all the BRICS countries? Who decided the dollar was a trade currency at the end of the gold partly? So when we quit using gold in 1970, our currency took everybody a long time to catch on that our currency was worthless. It's only worth as much as we say it is. So the world is finally waking up. There's some 40 countries that have shown interest and are in the process of becoming BRICS members: Argentina, Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates. All but Argentina have officially joined the alliance as of January 2024. In recent years, the United States has put all these sanctions on there, these other countries, especially Russia and Iran. And I really think the cherry on top was taking those Russian funds and confiscating them, just taking them, just stealing them, was the thing that really pushed them to try to accelerate this and get this done a lot quicker. Oil will be bought this way with the BRICS. Russia has lots of oil. Saudi Arabia, if they start accepting this money, which they will, then it is really going to put a strain on the US dollar. A new BRICS currency, here's some of the advantages. It'll strengthen the economic integration within the BRICS countries, reduce the influence of the US on the global stage, weaken the standing of the US dollar as a global reserve currency, encourage other countries to form alliances and develop regional currencies, and it also will make them less likely to have to put up with American coming in and just bullying their way around the world, mitigate risk associated with global volatility due to unilateral measures, and the diminution of dollar independence, so the decrease of dollar. So how's that going to affect the US dollar? Well, it doesn't look good, but we don't really know. 74% of Asia and Pacific and 79% of the world is now using the US dollar. So it is going to go on the decline. According to the Atlantic Council, the US dollar is used in approximately 88% of currency exchanges, 59% of all foreign currencies, reserve held by central banks. So that's a lot. It's used as a currency for conversion. It's a benchmark for Forex market for most central banks. They all hold US dollars. Additionally, the dollar is used for a vast majority of oil trades. So this is decreasing as the euro and the yen have gained popularity, but now we have the unit from BRICS, and that is going to change the whole ball game. And we really don't know how it will affect it. But as people convert their US dollars to BRICS currency, these US dollars are going to end up coming back to America. That is going to devalue our currency, and the US dollar could be dethroned as the world's primary reserve currency here in the next several years or decade. It's hard to say exactly what at this time? Will the BRICS have a digital currency? Yes, they do. It is called the unit. That will be the digital currency. They have their own network. I forget what the network's called, but that will replace the SWIFT system. How will BRICS currency impact the economy? Oil and gas, banking and finance, commodities, international trade, technology, tourism, travel, foreign exchange market. So, can investors prepare for a new BRICS currency? Well, I would say yes. Diversify your currency exposure. We talked about that. Um, Other than the US dollar, such as bonds, mutual funds, exchange traded funds, invest in commodities like gold, silver to hedge against the currency risk, gain exposure to the BRICS markets through stocks and ETFs that track BRICS market indexes, and look at alternative investments such as real estate, private equity in BRICS countries, and of course, there is Bitcoin. So investors can consider, this is according to the article here, ETFs such as iShares and so on and so forth, and other emerging markets. So they give some different names here. So the takeaway for the investor is, while it's not certain whether the creation of BRICS reserve currency will come to pass, well, it already has, it would pose significant implications for global economy, potentially challenge the US dollar dominance as primary reserve currency. And once these dollars start coming back, it's going to be a tidal wave, because I think everybody's going to want to get rid of it, especially when it starts to drop in value. So, yeah, this shifting landscape alters monetary policy and exacerbates geopolitical tensions. For those reasons, investors should closely monitor the progress of possible BRICS currency, which it isn't possible, it's already happened, and look at how they should invest. So there you go. There's more on the article if you want to look at it. Again, it's NASDAQ.com. It's a quite lengthy title called How Would a New BRICS Currency Affect the US Dollar Updated 2024? And again, I want to thank you. Please like and subscribe. If you want that handout, just email me at bitcoincryptonewsonline@gmail.com. And that's it. We are out of here. Have a great day. Until next time. You will be able